How's it going, everybody? I forgot my green screen, but uh, overall having a fantastic day. Today we're gonna go live with the Stanley Parable. I have it set up. The reason I haven't launched it yet is because this game tends to kind of troll around whenever you launch it and relaunch it, and so I wasn't sure if anything was gonna happen. So I decided to yeah. Which one? Hey, it's going good. Had pet pizza for breakfast. Oh, that sounds good. It's been a while since I had pizza, actually. It'd be nice to have sometime soon. I'm gonna pull up my green screen real quick because I forgot about it, and then we'll hop into the game. Actually, I can launch the game as they do that. Should be good. Okay. Anyway, did anything happen? I can't see my mouse. Oh, again? Oh, what is happening? Uh, what the fuck? There it is. Good morning to you too. How are you doing today? It's not 12. It's 5 oh 5:14. Ah, 5:14 p.m. Your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist give me the correct time again? Oh shit, he asked me about this. Yeah, I couldn't resist. After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Yes, I do. I do. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 5:14 is. Let's use another slider to find out. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things. That it's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Let me whip a couple of new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. But we gotta fix the quality. Yeah, you see, I would think that, but it's not. It's just not. I can see like the black bars happening in the bottom there. Oh, never mind, I fixed it. What just happened? Stop messing with my sizing! What the fuck? It's pissing me off. Okay. Are we good, Stanley? Please, are we good? I just want to play. Please, thank you. Anyway. Let's go. Begin the game. So we have the main ending with the bucket.
This is the story of a man.
I've seen this. Why am I sliding around?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nah, I'm not leaving Bucket behind. Pretty good, just at work, lurking away. I hope it's going well. Hope it's going well for both of you.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
I am.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I did.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
So, what you want? How was the pizza? Sorry, my brain kinda died.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because
Fine.
I have no remaining stickers.
Fine.
If I did, you can guarantee coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. I crave real marshmallow, how dare you? Okay.
Stepping into his manager's
I don't remember.
office, Stanley was once again
2408.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's
2684.
warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared
Tell me
with the
the
bucket
code, I
that he
forgot.
didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845, not. There we go.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah. Here we go. Alright, so let's see if we can do the
elevator
relanding.
raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Yeah.
Soothing him.
The bucket is amazing. It's the best
reassuring
character
that in
they
this
added.
darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Love the character development of Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Can I not walk back? Oh, come on. There's a secret if I... Oh, I made it back. Okay. No, wait. What? Have you never seen this game? It's was really popular years ago. Also, I messed up. I'm stuck. Alright, let's just restart from the beginning and actually do it properly.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded on. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You never heard of it. It was really popular in 2013.
Still no one was here.
And they
Stanley needed the bucket's
decided to
warmth and
release an
comfort
updated
now
version
more than ever.
a few months ago.
Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket
Hilarious
walked
game. I
upstairs to the
highly
boss's
recommend you
office.
check it out. Like, it's so much fun. If you can, go in without knowing anything on the game.
Stepping into his
It's
manager's
amazing.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Make it down again, and this time I'll do it properly. If I fuck it up again, I'll just do the main ending.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room.
Yeah,
packed
it's
with
really
television
amazing.
Screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the
God
dark
damn
room
it! I didn't
below.
want to do this one again.
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing that ending again. Okay. God damn it!
All of his co-workers were gone.
I'm not doing the secret.
What
I'm
could it
gonna do
mean?
the main ending and
Stanley
then try
decided to go to the
fuck
meeting
this.
room.
I'm
Stanley
getting
cradled
annoyed.
the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I want to drink, but I can't because I have to open the thing. But I have to keep moving.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Okay.
Perhaps his boss's
Okay,
office
we're
was
gonna
where he'd
do the
seen
ending.
coming to a staircase.
Main ending.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Ew.
office.
Speedrun tactics so we don't turn around anymore. I can't drink. One sec.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Good to go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Don't jump down. Don't do it.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Okay, just along the main path. Just don't mess it up.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I did that earlier again, and it annoyed me.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
No worries.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Come on, Buck, let's turn it off.
They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Oh, come on.
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
The facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket.
No, please!
Needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, or go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay, that was that ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So I feel
Stanley
like we've
decided to go
done.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I feel like we've done the main stuff now. Shut the door ending? What's shut the door ending? We have this input thing again. I'm gonna restart. See if I can. Oh yeah, I've done that. I know which one you mean. Yes.
My God, the bumpscosity in here is absolutely overwhelming.
I know which one you mean.
You people have got to be nuts. How can you stand this much bumpscosity?
The bumpscosity. The bumpscosity. Just took us forever from to mention it, but yeah. I do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whiteboard ending. We'll do it with the bucket.
Ah, Stanley's bucket. the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Hell yeah! Oh.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Yeah, the broom closet ending is my favorite too. It's such an awesome ending. Alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket.
We still have to reset, so...
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I have to do this until I can get the thing.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Is it... Do I have to go to like the office of the boss, maybe?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
Can backseat, I think, so we can get the final thing.
At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Sweet fuck off.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I love this ending. It's so amazing.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Hey!
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, The responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Let's say more shit, doesn't he? Alright, fine. I don't remember if there was anything else, but...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yeah, that's the third one. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's one more. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. No, they turn back on. Buttons. Okay, that was it. The button ending, I think. What happens? Can I go get the bucket and come?
All of his co-workers were gone.
And again, wait. If I just do this until I get to the other spot. Does that work? Come on. Come on. I'm stubborn. I get the button ending with the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself
I had
and
to
the
try it
bucket,
with the bucket.
his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
All of his co-workers
Mother
were gone.
fucker!
What could it mean? As Stanley lifted his bucket. I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just... As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling.
Let me see if I can yeet
telling
myself
him
again
that
and
the
see
employee
if that
lounge
does anything.
was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
But Stanley feared that any path
Alright,
he walked
let's see if we
might
can do
lead
this
to the
again.
separation of himself and the bucket.
I want to
his
do it.
dearest friend.
I really want to
So
see
he
if it
threw
works.
himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay. Alright. I don't want to hear the fucking door closing.
All of his... What new
Mother
methods lay in store for our
fuck!
bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's just do it. To quit out of the game. That's what the thing said for me to do. Alright, and then we launched it again. Okay, I just need to... Please adjust the slide until the dog and the cat are friends. Ah. The slide until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Okay. Yeah. Just the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Okay. Anything? Which of the two made up words below is the most appealing? Ocuboinkal? Scrumtush. Scrumtush. Ocuboinkal? But Scrumtush was pretty good too. I didn't do it. Yes. Yes, it is. It is the correct time that it is right now. What is time anyway? Yes. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. Yes. We come back to visit? Yes, of course. Change anything in the game?
This is the... All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm just gonna do an
and
ending
Stanley
because
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Yeah.
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me.
I almost fell
This
down.
is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
We're gonna answer the phone. Let's see
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one.
how different this one might be.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
I can't move like I
Okay,
could.
there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had
So
a loving
mean.
wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
Such
Come
an
inside.
ass.
Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
I forgot about that. Hey.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press C on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Thank you. Please press O.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Please press T.
But in his mind, in his mind,
Try
he could
fishing
go on
other,
fantastic
inputs.
adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Oh.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please proceed to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Please press X to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Good sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Pressing everything but that one.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Please press F to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Just want to do every ending on like normal ending, just to make sure nothing changed. Then
when Stanley came to a set
continue
of
with
two
whatever
open doors,
the
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
guy asking about the
Perhaps he
stuff.
wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else...
We're about to
but the fact is that the
unplug
story
it.
has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Yeah.
That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No,
I love this one.
It's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Yeah.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
My goodness.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yes. Could I actually eat myself here?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Okay. I forget how you get to the line ending.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know if the deeds lead into 2 different ones, but...
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, fine.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No! Still alive.
Oh, I'm here.
It's like the portal.
I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Okay.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite...
I just have to check something real quick. There's the, like, cheating ending. I don't remember how you do that. Do I have to, like, go to the... No, why would you do that?
Sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
I've already done that. I've already done the changing every setting thing. Wait.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You can't hear anything? No, I'm saying I've done that. Like
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115.
No idea what you're talking about.
Into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Don't know what you're on about.
Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Okay, well that's yet another ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
How would
could
I
it
do
mean?
the line ending? I
Stanley
don't remember.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna be a hack here. I'm gonna be a hack. One sec. Hmm. Okay, wait, one sec. Wait, where's the line ending? Ah, okay. Yes.
When Stanley came to a set
Sorry.
of 2 open doors, this was not
Took
the
a
correct
minute.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
The
Perhaps he
line
wanted to
ending
stop
is my
by the
favorite.
employee lounge first,
Amazing.
just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Have to do.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
That's
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I want to go other paths.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Rustling papers thing kills me.
Now,
It's so
let's
funny.
see, we went down, right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
Okay.
And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
Yes.
Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay then, it's an adventure. Come, Stanley, let's find the story.
Yes. Yes. Let's this way. This way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay, we're good.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. And everything looks fine to me. I mean, this...
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story.
Yeah.
Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah. Okay. That...
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Hell yeah!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay. Ah!
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Okay. What happens if I don't fall?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
All right. Come on, line. Let's go. Where's the music?
See? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Yeah.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
No, neither
You know what?
did I.
I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
You're probably right. Right. What the fuck? Does this just go back? No. Okay. Let's actually follow it now. Alright. Take me all the way, Adventure Line. Wrong way. Whoa! Yeah, boy. Alright. Alright. Okay. Get ready to throw up, guys, because I surely will. Whoa! No. Okay.
Wait, cut the music.
Uh.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern
Oh
will
my
be
God.
very important later in
Fern.
the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
I will.
You won't want to miss anything.
Yeah. I'm doing that right now. I think we're good. I think we studied it enough. Yeah, I think I've studied it enough. Ooh.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Put on the music.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Yeah.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Where? Hi.
Now, yes, this is exciting.
Very.
Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I'm acknowledging it though. I can't stop looking at it. It's such a pretty line. Let's go.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
Okay.
How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
Okay.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
Sorry about that.
Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to
play
keep
the story, but it's
restarting.
rented and
I don't
able
want
to
to
go
forget what's
anywhere
going
or
on.
do anything.
I don't want to be
Restart
trapped
on
like
its own.
this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
That was loud.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, we're back.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was that ending. I'm just trying to see if there's any endings we're missing. I feel like we've done most of them though. Except for like the main like left door endings, like the freedom and countdown ending. Yeah, but we already did this in the past. I feel like, and I don't really like them. First ending we did, not Stanley ending. We've done that too. Done that one. Yes. And okay. Sorry, just making sure. Yeah, I think we most of the... There's one we could do that I forgot.
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Oh?
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then
What the
and could not
fuck
conceive
is
the
this?
ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley.
No!
You did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, Let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Damn.
All of his coat. Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
There was one ending I did forget about that I saw on here that I want to try with the
Still
bucket.
no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remain. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in.
Toilet. Interesting. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why is this back now? You are now leaving. Red door. A little bit dark. Here it is. Oh. That was the saddest ending I've ever seen. Any video game. Ever. Real tears. Okay. Real.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
No!
he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
What? Really?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere.
Okay.
Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Replacement bucket.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
Oh man. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's see if I can do the one where I jump on the railing again. Otherwise, we're gonna
Still no one was here.
do the cheating end.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth
With
and
the
comfort
bucket
now
first.
more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where, coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Okay.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Egg explanation.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
No, god damn it! let's do the cheating ending. Properties, and then it said like to do what exactly? One sec. I think that's it. And then I should be able to launch. And then I should just do what's launching. Time is it? The game is gone for me. What the hell? Why does it do that? Wait, I have to just close it. I don't have any water. I drank the full thing. I'll do it soon, I promise. Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job, and now the job is over. There's more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can, and I still don't really know you. You don't know me. Neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettlable. Settleable. But if I'm being completely honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game. Don't have me here when the game starts next time. The games were meant to be played alone. Like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. I'm not really in my job description, but it's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. Oh. I'm not ready for that yet. Um. How do I do it? This ending doesn't exist in this version of the game. Oh. That's fucking sad. Let me see if he comes back one more time. I also need to change the properties there for the launch options. One last time. Epilogue. Many, many years later. Oh. Out here again. Oh. So calming. Fucking ridiculous. Towards the sunset. Oh, I'm back. That. Is that the escape pod? Okay. Sorry. So much. Oh, it changed. As I picked up the bucket, this thing changed. Narrator. Probably. Like so many things, I enjoyed my time with the original Star Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am in its sequel. For the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expanding on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for, an infinitely deep hole. Cares? Where are the new endings? What about it? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get uninspired side quests, collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you no. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting, a welcome reprieve from. You'll see the recent. Sorry, I haven't been. It's SN RAF 3. Check the post. Cookie corner. Wait, can I press on the corner? We need to talk about sequel. Go guy on review the Sound Parallel 2. This order is 0999. Boblin. Cat dog born. Oh man. Anything behind? It's the cat dog shit. Jim, 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 Jim. Parable developables, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. The Silent Parable launched to massive success in 2013. Its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise, but a disastrous critical and commercial reception to Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what fans want. Reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been for. Press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and creative vision. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. Then get on the green. Like a tune of two people together. Yes. Thank you. In we go. Oh. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Oh. Hello again. Nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. You read what the developer said, preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. People hate it. Who cares? See, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. Not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. And the Parable 3, Passion of the Lawsuit, Day, Fire, Explosion, Chemicals, Hole. The last ever Lawsuit Tuesday Fire. Unforgivable, Hole, Legend of, Hole. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end, and nothing in the game itself will change. You do this either. Any more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you. Oh, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good. Then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. You know what? Since you put faith in my ID, I feel like giving you something as well. See, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I won't expect him to know. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. All right, there. That achievement machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. Some parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's one last thing. There's only one last thing we need to do. Enter the current time. 7:03. Just a slider. Like. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Okay, wait. If I quit the desktop, please tell me they actually increase it by 1. They do. A game of Beyond Didgeridoo, the destruction of deadly sequel. There is no way. How many times did they do this? Okay, again. No, what just happened? It's like moving around. It's really annoying. The final escape. Least tiny. Wait. Final escape. So much fun shit posting this. Let's do it again. The Revenge of the Baby. We'll go to 10 and then I'll stop. Can't be good for my PC to restart like this. The Temple of Coworker. It's so fucking dumb, and I don't know how long they'll let you do this, but it's amazing. Turn to Deadly. 8 Part 5 coworker. Office is under 24-hour surveillance. The end is never the... End is never the whole. Oh no! Alright. Final one. Final. Curse of the Monkeys. I think that's a throwback to the original. I don't know, maybe not. In the game. Actually, I would like to go to the menu. Do that.
This is the story of a man.
Nothing's...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. One man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
Oh. Back. Go home.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Can I get another bucket? No. Oh.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Shit.
Stanley!
No!
I didn't lose you, Stanley. The power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and... Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Fuck you.
I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says, but no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
Jim.
Fuck. Their bucket for me.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Gonna do the same thing. Probably needed the bucket, actually.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you
We're not doing
even
this whole
more of
thing
my
again.
ideas for the sequel.
We're not doing though. If I get the bucket, sure. But not right now. Doing everything kind of this. Get that.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Infos. Yeah, I got it.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure, composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I'm gonna bring it to 30. No! Let's check out. Can I jump?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then. Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done. You've experienced every setting, traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called Bumpscosity. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Everything seems to be.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah. Yes, I'm interrupting him because
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it.
Is that it?
Of course, with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It's 10.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
We're gonna go in here, and we're gonna do the this whole thing with the bucket, and then see if there's anything that changes at the end there. The bucket, and if it doesn't, then that's it. We're done.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was
Thank
a
you.
landmark. Any new content
Yeah, I'm getting a
for it
little bit
should live
tired
up
here.
to that legacy.
Been
So
longer.
forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable
2. Okay. Speedrun time.
Yes, you
Going
see,
directly
isn't
to
this
the hole.
far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I'll also check out the achievement thing to see if it's again, but doubt it.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given. As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine... Oh, God. Composure, composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video game. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top and we can continue onward.
No, I'm gonna wait.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite?
Okay.
If that works for you,
We're back on
then
track
go
now.
ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
All right.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Oh, okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability in marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
No, it's not working.
You
Help.
sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
I
hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
So calming. Let's get good, guys. I want to see if it's gonna show me holding the bucket or not. Please give me an angle on the bucket. Come on. Ooh.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Help.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an
Right.
artistic
Let's
statement.
hope that this
right there.
changed
All
right
right.
here.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I don't think it did.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better.
Okay.
I feel good about this.
Yeah, I
Here
think
we
this is
go.
it, guys.
Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
It's the same thing. Okay, well then there are 3 things I really want to do. First thing is,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I really want to see if I can
Stanley
get
decided
that.
to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
red
had simply
thing.
missed a memo.
But we'll do that last. Second thing I want to do is,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
there's
doors,
an ending
he entered the door.
I
on
don't
his
remember
left.
at all. It's called the elevator ending. Supposedly you're supposed to be able to use the elevator.
Yet there was
takes you
not
to the
a single
office
person here either.
over and over.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Yeah.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Come on.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
If it actually works. Do the elevator thing first.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
What happens if I... Is there anything?
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Do it again.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh. I actually have to leave for it to.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
This is amazing. I can't believe I never did this. I think it was in the original.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
God damn it, dude.
All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Okay. There we go.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
You don't like it? Oh, this is exclusive to the Ultra Deluxe, so this is actually a new ending. Yeah. That was faster.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Lower, please.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley.
Wait a second.
What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's
never
really
mind. I
all
thought
because
this
of
was
you.
new.
You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley.
because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know. People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Okay.
Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
Oh, we did it. The pyramids, world's healthiest human being. All tricks revealed. I have the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley, live on stage. Evening with World Peace Baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
World's first sentient machine. Stanley Parable, Stanley tonight live on stage. Stanley Parable and process the myth, the legend, the parable. What if I just walk back? Closed it. Okay. Well, let's see what this does. Doing great, the conversation with Alexander the Great.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Agent Stanley, remember where you came from, your co-worker. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs. Elevator. High and lows isn't what lives is about. Even Stairs Walker. Star Magazine. Up, again, and down. Storyteller, Stanley reveals all all in his new book. Wait, that's play the demo, my control facility. Break a leg, champ your boss. Love the way you ride elevator. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. Are cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on, break a leg, champ. Well, that's just. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. Stanley. My true love for you grows every day. Live, your wife from the apartment ending. Stanley. Stanley, me, dad, age 6 story. Goddamn. That's peak. Dude who came up with pizza. Nice. Lord, a meeting free. Featured keynote speaker. Live, the guy who went to Mars. Read that. Whoa! There's still frames, but still. Like 2 frames at a time. Wow. That's how it ends. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps it's bucket time.
It's bucket time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We're gonna do the same thing, just so you guys know. We're gonna do the exact same thing.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright. There goes. It.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Okay, am I losing my mind? Is that it? Okay, sorry.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Okay. Down again.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly. No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
They're drifting apart. It's so sad.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator.
He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Up we go. Let's go!
"Ah," said Stanley. "I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart." He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Okay. Oh, 3-3. Oh, okay. Alright. 3-3-3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
3, that's the magic number. Yes, it is. A popular song. Strikingly three-dimensional character. Thurston Ryber. 3-star magazine. Three again, 3 again. Okay.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Alright. That was
All of his co-workers were gone. What
a
could it
weird
mean?
and sad one.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna have a look here at the Easter egg thing before doing the main. Oh, sorry. Sorry, one sec. Okay. I think I get it.
It's bucket time.
Bucket time. So I want to see if this one works with
Stanley
bucket.
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here.
Sorry, I'm just making sure.
Stanley needed the bucket's
Was
warmth and comfort now more than
years
ever.
ago.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oopsie.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
I guess I'm supposed to wait here.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Let me see. Maybe, I don't know. See, I'm employee 4-3. Alright. Is that my room? I don't know. Yeah, I can't read all that.
Was
Ew.
the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Let's just wait here. I'll sit on my phone and check something real quick. anything? Oh, it opened up. I didn't notice. I was sorry. The bucket. Oh, they changed it. I think. Dream Secret Room of the Year. Our resolution. Secrets. They're just passing through me. Don't stab me. What happens if I hop down now?
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely...
Alright. Now we just do the normal ending. Let's wrap it up.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
No more
Perhaps he had
buckets.
simply missed a memo.
We're done.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna speedrun this shit.
Yet
Hey, hello.
there was not a single person here
Hey, man.
either.
We're doing
Feeling a wave
the
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
final,
boss's office.
just the
Coming
standard
to a
ending to
staircase,
wrap it all up.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're done.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
What just happened? I've been having a fun time. Is the game? It's so good, dude. They've added so much shit. It's top notch. You're gonna love it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place
Using
hold?
it all in VR is
Stanley
going to be
thought to
so
himself.
impactful. I get
Did he
that.
have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them,
Thanks,
eternally
Barnett.
monitored in this place
Have a good
where
day.
freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Let's do
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided
I did it.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles
it's all
still
dark.
lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
I just got the achievement for beating the game. Well, alright. Do you have anything left to do? Play the game on a tired of a Tuesday. Won't do that. Beat the Stanley Parable in 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh. And don't play Stanley Parable for 10 years. I'd like to see if I could mess with that a little. Up 10 years into the future, yeah. How's it going, Gingy? I'm about to wrap up. I'm just testing something out. The spectacular train station. Did that work? No, it didn't. Maybe I need to go offline on Steam. Yes. Time. We're just gonna hop like that should do. And then and play the game. Does that work? Well, with danger of Stanley versus Baby. Oh, jeez. Super go outside. Yeah, I got the achievement. Okay. You can just change the time. Well, then I'm done. I have 2 achievements left that I don't really care about it. That's a great profile pic. Thank you. Whatever. Okay, let me just fix my time and then we'll wrap up. Does that sound good? One last time. Thank you guys so much for watching the Stanley Parable. It's been a lot of fun. I think there's like maybe a few things I didn't do, but I'd like to believe I did most of the things. And on number 13, Stanley's one with the Stanley's Big Escape. Hell yeah. Wait, what? Why is it broken? Oh wow, it doesn't work. Well, I kind of ruined my fucking moment. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, it's not fucking working at all. Wait, what happened to my stream deck? Wait. Will it work? Okay. Yeah, nothing on it's working. Oh, this is awkward because I can't. God. Okay. How do I? Where is it? Okay. You know what? We're just gonna end it. I don't know what happened to my stream deck. It decided to not work at all. Just as I'm about to wrap it up. So that just, you know, it feels really, really good. You know, when you try to do like a fancy, you know, conclusion ending thing with your like scrolling of the credits, and the thing just says, no, we're not gonna let that work. So you know what? Fuck you. Okay, I'm done. Bye bye.